For the second week in a row, we've seen cars upside down. Corey LaJoie at Michigan slid on his lid for a while. We almost saw Michael McDowell get upside down. He did get airborne at Daytona. And then late in the race, trying to win it and get his first W, was Josh Berry sliding along and then hitting the inside retaining wall. Scary looking, but Josh comes out of there okay. Kyle, this is a new phenomenon for now.
Yeah.
What can be done, or is this just a byproduct of racing at Michigan and Daytona, which are extremely high-speed tracks?
So I have no idea, and I'll be totally honest from that standpoint. We see cars get knocked up in the air, you know what I mean, where they get turned and get lifted and some of this stuff. The Corey LaJoie Michigan thing is Houdini. How did that happen?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where did that come from? How did he get out of the handcuffs? You know, that kind of thing. Because that car just rotated and it was upside down. I mean, it was a rotation. How many times have we seen Kyle Busch, Kyle Larson, those guys get sideways in the corner and recover and come back? That's all that happened to Corey LaJoie, and that car was upside down. And so I don't know what the problem is. I don't know if it is the smoothness of the bottom of the car that we don't have that. If it's something, the airflow over, do the roof flaps not come up fast enough? You know, are we not getting an airflow? I don't know. People smarter than me are going to have to come up with it. But the point is, it does seem to be happening at those 185 plus racetracks where you're running 185 miles an hour plus. If you're in the 160, 170 range, you know, going off in the corner here or coming up off a corner here or down the straightaway at Charlotte or places like that, it's not as bad. Atlanta's another place it could happen.
Planes have to be going so fast before the wing creates lift.
Yeah, and it does. And, you know, the only thing that I go back into at Michigan is there was a massive, and they all talked about it all day, massive tailwind down the front stretch. You're running into the wind going down the back stretch. Planes take off into the wind. I'm just going to say that as a guy with a pilot's license, you take off into the wind, not with a tailwind. So that could have had a bearing on it if whatever the wind was. But it is obviously it's showing up again with this car where it hadn't shown up in the past.
Alexis, we had an opportunity at Richmond, even though NASCAR said not so fast, and they took the opportunity for Austin Dillon to move up into the playoffs away because of the way that he won the Richmond race. And then it was replicated again at Daytona, where a team that was hopelessly out of the playoffs, 32nd in points, but Harrison Burton gets the win. He is now in the playoffs. Do we need to re-examine when and you're in the playoffs, or is the system just fine the way it is?
I think there are some things we could potentially tweak, but I will say this about the system that we have now, and I feel pretty confident about it. When you have teams like an Austin Dillon team or a Harrison Burton team that are having, you know, just tremendously terrible seasons, not doing well, but they have this spark that creates a win, and they get themselves into the playoffs. It's going to take care of itself. I hate to say that for any Harrison Burton fans out there.
True.
It will take care of itself. He is not going to win the 2024 NASCAR Cup Series championship. But, you know, there is the argument that him being in there takes somebody else who otherwise on points has had a really good season and should be maybe potentially running for a championship. It takes them out of the equation to be able to do so. So there are lots of things to consider, but I also do like the fact that there is more emphasis on winning, because that is what our sport is all about. It's about getting to the checkered flag first, winning the race. And so, could it be tweaked a little bit? Yes. Do I think we need to go back to the old, system where all we do is count points and that's it, and we have no playoff structure or anything like that? Absolutely not.
I think I'm a bad person. I've already started looking at the people that I think will be eliminated in the first round.
That doesn't make you a bad person.
That doesn't make you a bad person.
No way.
That makes you a realist.
Yeah.
I kind of enjoy it. All right.